Welcome to Return to the Office. I'm Nicole North, president of Whiteboard Learning.
And I'm Paula Manolakakis, CEO and founder of Broaderwood Professional Development.
And let's be honest, return to office wasn't just a policy change. It disrupted routines, boundaries, energy levels, and a lot of nervous systems.
Leaders are being told to bring people back now, while employees are thinking, I just rebuilt my life. What do you mean, full-time in office?
This podcast is about the messy middle, the awkward first weeks back, the office gossip, and the pressure to perform before people have actually re-regulated.
No corporate fluff, no pretending this is easy.
Just honest conversations, practical strategies, and a bit of humor, because this is Return to Office. Welcome to Return to Office. I'm Nicole North.
Hi, Nicole. I'm Paula Manolakakis.
And we're here today with Flexible, not Unhinged. So today's topic is all about companies kind of fearing flexibility because they think flexibility equals reduced accountability. And I think this is a great kind of carry on from our last episode. So if you haven't checked out our last episode, listen to that one first because we kind of threaded this through. But I'm really interested in this idea that when we went remote or hybrid, we started to blur the lines. We blurred our boundaries between work and home. Mm-hmm. The home became an office. The couch became the boardroom, so to speak.
Yep.
Right? You know, everywhere was work at home. And I think because people were so excited to show how hard they were going to work to earn this reward of flexibility, they were willing to work till 9 p.m.
That's right.
They were willing to log back on when the kids went to bed.
Yep.
They were willing to take their commute time and reallocate it into more work time. And I think what we talked about in our last episode is that employees might start retaliating by kind of reverse clock watching, right? And saying, you know, I don't
totally see it. Yeah.
I don't work until 9:00:00, right?
Yeah.
I don't work and at 4:59.59, my shoes are on and I'm out the door catching the next train. So, you know, I think there's two angles we can take to this, and that is leaders, how are we establishing boundaries and how are we differentiating boundaries from control?
Yeah.
And then similarly, from the individual contributor side, how are we coming in and reestablishing our boundaries? And I think for some of us, myself included, as a people pleaser, as a high performer, as someone who wants to always please my manager, how do I stand up for myself and say, hey, I can't do that anymore? This new normal isn't allowing me the ability to log on again at 9 p.m. after I've worked a full day, commuted for 3 hours.
Got home, make dinner, did my own fitness, took care of my own self, and I have to be in bed to be up again at 5 to get there in time.
So I think there's kind of two kind of things, right? So this idea of how we can, as individual contributors, use boundaries to help protect our energy and our motivation. If we let the boundaries erode, we're going to get a new burnout.
Yep.
I mean, that happened in COVID as well,
For
right?
sure, yeah.
When people went to this remote from home and they wanted to show everyone how good they could be, they certainly burned themselves out by blurring the boundaries so much that they were working nonstop. And then, from the leader side, what's this fine line between establishing the boundaries of what's appropriate and control, which I think is interesting. Yeah, and how we can maybe leverage flexibility on both sides to help rebuild our trust.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens and how can we set those boundaries. I'm really interested to see how, what are some ideas how to do that? I want my job. I want to be good at my job. However, I need to consider my commute to get home. I have to get home for whatever reason I need to be there. So how do we create boundaries that are respectful of ourselves And I was thinking about it the other day. Is boundaries another way of saying diversity, equity, and inclusion? Because isn't that what boundaries are? Respecting people for their whatever it is? Is it to do my prayers? Is it I have a commitment to a man I might have married or whatever? I'm just saying, like a family commitment that I've obviously made a commitment there too, right? Are you going to exclude me because I had to take care of children?
Interesting stuff. I mean, you're a mom too. Like, I remember in like those early days of motherhood, you were like completely exasperated.
Right.
Right. Everything was for the baby, for the
Yes.
child, like cooking for them, cleaning for them, wiping them, bathing them, putting them to bed, putting them back to bed, putting them back to bed again, well, you peed the bed. Great. Let's like, and it's just nonstop. It took me many, many years. I think I've only just figured out now how badly I need to put the oxygen mask on for myself first.
Right.
Before I can give that right and take that space. So maybe let's start, this podcast was really something I wanted to help leaders, but I think leaders need to hear what boundary setting sounds like.
Correct.
So maybe we can kind of run through what is an acceptable boundary for me as an employee to set and what that sounds like to a leader. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
right?
Let's play this game. Let's play it. Let's play it. I'm interested. I'd like to
game. Let's see how it comes out.
Yeah.
All right. So let's think of some of these common things. You're the leader.
Okay.
I'm the employee.
Yeah.
So you're going to ask me something to do that maybe now sits outside of this new normal.
Sure. So Nicole, I was wondering if you could help me on this project. We're looking for opportunities on how to streamline our process for doing XYZ. Could you help me put this together? And I need it by Friday too. So it's Tuesday today. No, you have your regular work. You got to get that done. That's priority, right? But at the same time,
isn't it, Paula?
Yes, it is. But at the same time, I need this by 2 because I have a meeting on it for Monday. So I want the weekend to prep.
So, okay. All right. Okay, Paula. Yeah, that project's not in my job description, so I don't know.
Yeah. So back in the 80s, because I can only talk about where I was from, that was career ending if you ever used anything with not in my job description. So we can't use that. And because I think it still applies true today. So
what we're saying here is that is not a boundary.
Right. That job description is not a boundary. But this is a great example because my inside Paula, that wants to scream that. Right? Wants to scream, this is not it. So I have to control her because sometimes she gets out and she's like a genie. She'll give you 3 wishes, all right. 3 wishes that you never wanted ever before. But this is where we need to pull back and put on our politically correct, let me speak to you like I'm the queen. And we need to replace our tiara.
Yeah.
Right? And we need to straighten our tiara and say simply, I would love to help you with that. And I will absolutely put it as a priority once I complete all my work, if I can do it. If I can, I will be happy to, but I cannot commit to the 2 p.m. I would recommend you start it, and maybe I could review it if I have the flexibility.
Yeah, some interesting, yeah. Or, like if I'm, thinking of myself in my most authentic, wanting to please the leader.
Right.
But also wanting to be clear. I might say something like, oh, Paula, that project sounds super exciting. Mm-hmm. I would be interested in supporting that. It's really interesting. I've got this, and this. It's Tuesday. Those 2 deliverables
non-negotiable.
This idea of like, here's what I have on my plate. Here's what I have to get done. I want to do this for you. Is there anything we can take off my plate in order for me to accommodate this? Is there anyone else on the team that can support me with deliverable A and B so I can fully devote option C to you? And I think the fear here is that managers are going to expect the old way of doing it, which was, I'll log back on at 9 and I'll pump that out for you. But with my new commute and having to pack lunches, because I ain't buying that Druxy's lunch.
Right.
Right. And all that, and managing my kids and my partner and it's not possible for me to log on at 9 anymore.
Right.
Right. So I think for me, establishing clear boundaries is as simple as here's what's on my plate and how long that takes. It's no longer possible for me to do that in the evenings. How can we make it work?
I love that response. Just so you know, I love it.
I'm a really good employee.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. That was perfect. I learned a lot listening to that. And I love the way you said it. You didn't say no, right? You didn't say no. You didn't say it's not my job description. You did all the right things. And that was, I have this to do. I'm not being nasty by not wanting to help you. It's that these are the things I have to get done within this time. If you'd like to help me move some of these things off of my plate, then I'm happy to do it within this time limit.
Look, and it might be as simple as like, Paula, can you ask Doug to extend my deadline on deliverable B? And then I can help you with deliverable C.
Right.
Right. And to me, like, this is the advice I always give young employees or new employees.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't ever turn down work.
Right.
Don't ever turn down a project, because that project could be
something.
It could be a game changer. It could be something to put on your resume. It could be something that you talk about in an interview. It could be an opportunity where you meet someone that ends up being your next boss or your next role. So find a way to get it done, but you can still maintain your boundaries.
Yeah. Right? But on the flip side, leaders, that when you have to say that, right? Because let's pretend you got Nicole and Paula working for you. Okay, right? And we're working for Kaylee. And Kaylee's
our boss now.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. We're working for Kaylee, and Kaylee has asked Nicole if she can help with something. Nicole is standing firm on the fact that I'm working 9 to 5. I cannot extend my boundaries, but I'm happy to do it if you take X, Y, Z off my plate. Yeah, Kaylee goes to Paula, and Paula goes, yeah, I'll do it. No problem. So now, is Kaylee going to be passive aggressive to Nicole because Nicole said no? Remember, that all comes back into play again, right? The amount of leaders that I've worked for, and I've worked for 4 different major companies in the last 30 years, every single one was this way. There was one that wasn't. They get mad. Like, why are you not doing it? Is this something like, I'd like to hope maybe things have changed in 5 years.
You're right. And, you brought up equity, diversity, and inclusion. And this is sometimes a conversation that needs to get had. Like, is there a privilege for certain individuals, right? That you have the privilege to be able to set those boundaries versus not.
Right.
And that like I've always said, that power dynamic, you're right. Me setting a boundary is that career
ending? This is going to be very, very interesting. Yet on the flip side, now I'm flipping this like an egg-shaped. Yeah. More pancake with lots of shapes. So, yeah.
Like waffle?
Yeah. So think about this one. Okay. So you set your boundaries, which I respect. Okay. I went for it. I was like, I'll do it. Okay. I'll do it. I know the kids don't have anything tonight. I'm going to do it. Or you know what? They're old enough. Heck, they can make their craft dinner. They can do it. Right? So, and I stay. But then when the job comes up, you get the promotion. How is this now? So you got the job opportunity because you have that diversity, equity, inclusion on your side. Yet the person, this, it's so multifaceted that boundaries, building relationships need to go hand in hand. So I think when we talk about boundaries, we also look for opportunities to build relationships. Right?
And so like if I'm going to give hot takes for individual contributors, is learn the language to set boundaries with kind and problem-solving language.
Right.
I'm always telling people, if you want to have impact and influence on others, then you have to understand the position you're in. Some managers are absolute
Ridiculous.
They're
Yeah.
ridiculous. And yeah, sure, maybe there's a handful of managers who really just don't care about you, don't care about your life, don't care about your
No.
kids.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the exception, not the rule. Let's talk
Yeah.
about, the reality is your manager just has a job to do. They're trying to get it done.
Yeah.
The people that they have, work with them. And so if I were truly trying to come to my manager's state of mind and be like, ooh, that project sounds exciting, and gosh, that is a tight timeline.
Right. I'd like to do it, but A, B, C, D.
Yeah, I'd like to do it in this.
Yeah.
Or I'd like to do it. Are you willing to negotiate on how much time you need to get it done you need it to review on the weekend? Because I'm willing to work on Sunday night. That is when I have capacity. So if you wanna if you can shift your review time to early Monday morning, I can make this happen for you. So again, am I saying push your boundaries? I'm saying the ideal option is get the manager to take something else off your plate.
Yep.
Another option is get the manager to renegotiate your other deliverables or this deliverables timeline to something that's more suitable to you.
Yep.
Right? Or I use it. Oh, and I have a hot take. Use it as a leverage point.
Yeah.
I absolutely can do that for you. But in order to get all three of these deadlines done, I need to work from home tomorrow.
Could you imagine?
Right?
Well,
like if you let me work from home, I can get all those deliverables done because I don't have to commute. I don't have to pack my lunch. I don't have to do anything. I can crank through them. Nobody is being like, hi.
That's right.
How's your weekend? And I can get it done. So I think that's going to be a bargaining chip that's like on the table all the time now.
Yeah, and you made me think of something while you were talking about this. We've talked about the lens and the reaction and the support of an individual contributor. Let's take a step back at the role of the leader. As a leader now, as we look at extra work and extra projects that we know this is a part of the realm. Like we always have extra things we need to get done that are in addition to our daily workflow. Instead of keeping them as whole, would it not maybe be an option to chunk them out and make them smaller bits, and you can manage the actual execution of them all?
That's a hot take.
Yeah. So these are options too. So there's always more than one way to get to where you need to be. So yes, it's good for individual.
How do you eat an elephant, Paula?
Bit by bit.
One bite at a time.
Oh, okay. I was like, I had to think about that. I didn't know. I've never eaten an elephant. But in my opinion and in my experience, forget my opinion doesn't matter. My experience in being an individual contributor and a leader of multiple projects, you need to look at how you can help support first. Because you said it the best. You have to put your oxygen mask on first. So how can I support? I can support by making myself available and being able to give you options, or we can look to see if we can put this into nuggets.
And so from a manager's perspective, I love that. So if an individual contributor is setting boundaries by saying, hey, this is what I got on my plate, I'm willing to negotiate, but I need some support here. Managers, you need to come into these conversations
Prepared
with, okay, my best case scenario is you take this whole thing off my plate and you do it by Friday.
Yep.
Great. My next best case is, okay, fine, but you need to work from home one day to do it. Gasp.
Mm-hmm.
3 is maybe, you need to work on the weekend in order to get it done. So my review time is compromised. Or I love this idea 4, instead of putting this all on me, maybe I split this task out.
That's right.
Maybe I chunk it out across 4 people where it's not having as high an impact. And so for leaders, it means, again, this conversation, flexible, not unhinged.
Right.
Right? Be flexible in what you need to get done,
Yeah.
when it needs to get done, and maybe how it gets done.
Yep.
Maybe as managers, we have to be less fixed on the outcome in this new normal. Like, I hate to say it. You got to take what you can get.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Is that bad to say?
no, I don't think so.
Say, like,
When
that
you
we
go
have
to the
tell
grocery store,
managers
you don't yell at them and say, hey, why don't you have passion fruit in the middle of December? You got to take the fruit that you get. This is what you got, right? You're going to No Frills. You're not finding passion fruit. So it's the same thing. You're coming to your team. You know what's on your team.
Yeah.
So work within your limitations. Right? Did I ever tell you that story? That I didn't tell you that story. My son used to work at Food Basics. Someone walked in and said to him, "Do you have passion fruit?" And he looked at him and said, "You realize you're at Food Basics, right?" And she looked at him, she didn't understand. Well, it's the same thing. You know your
Go
team.
to Zehrs, sir.
Yeah. You know your
Go
team.
to the expensive fruit store.
Yeah, you know your team. Work with your team. You know them. You have conversations with them. You know what's on their plate. Work with them. Sometimes don't leave the decision in one person's hand. Work with it together. And this is, as the other episodes we talked about, return to work, there's opportunity for certainty. There's opportunity for creativity. There's opportunity for conversation. There's so many opportunities here that we could, yes, it is not the best situation having to go back to the office. However, we could turn it into something really positive if we create opportunity for everyone in an environment that is grateful and thankful that we can at least work with each other and have this good group of people to work with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
I'd like to end today's section with a segment called The Boundary Police.
Yeah.
Wee-oo, wee-oo, wee-oo.
Oh, Nicole.
So I think I want us to think about how we as leaders show up. And so when I think about the boundary police, I think you as a leader can act like the boundary police. And
Absolutely.
One of the ways that I've seen a leader do this really well is actually, walking around and saying things like, "Hey, it's 5 p.m. What are you working on? Let's get you home." And like some of the best bosses I had, instead of like the worst boss I ever had, said to me, "Well, look at Nuncia. She's
Sweet
here.
Jesus.
She's here till 7 p.m."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Nuncia is reading Cosmo while she's waiting for you to leave so that you can sign things." And he said, "Well, you should be more like Nuncia. You should stay till 7 p.m. I'm like, "Really?" The best bosses I had said things like, "Hey, it's Saturday. Why are you working?"
Mm-hmm.
Or, "Hey, I see you're working late right now. Can I send maybe Peter over? You guys can work on this together and maybe get home a little earlier."
Mm-hmm.
So, if I wanted to really work on being a great leader that showed that I respected boundaries and I respected work-life balance, which to me, if you want any kind of trust from people now, that is what you're going to have to value.
Yep.
Then you're going to need to say things like, you're going to also need to check yourself before you wreck yourself and say things like, "Hey, should I really be assigning this to you at 4:30?
Yeah.
Right? Or should I be really clear and articulate? Hey, I'm giving this to you right now, Paula. No expectation for this to be done tonight because it's almost home time. This can be something that can be done tomorrow." So managers, check what you're doing, and if you want to be respected and if you want people to push their boundaries for you, then you better show them that you also respect their boundaries 99% of the time.
Okay, so now let's flip this a little bit. I have to flip it again because my mind is
She's pancaking again.
Yes, I'm pancaking. So we've talked about leaders and how some tools to help them, right? Tools to help them, which is, have those conversations, try and piecemeal. Now, I don't know if that's the right word, but try and section work off. As an individual contributor, balance, prioritize, look at your work, have those conversations. Don't jump in feet first, right? Have those conversations because this is new, right? We're back. Return to office is new. So now let's look at the person that is, I'm going to call them a knowledge worker, okay? Such as someone in training or someone in project management or someone in change management. Let's look at it from their lens for a moment. We're changing now. You have people working in the office, returning to work. You have all this project to do. You used to be able, 99% of people in training, change management, project management worked past 8 hours. This is just the way it was. It's the nature of the beast. Okay, because you waited for decisions. You were always on the receiving end. You had to catch and throw, catch and throw. We won't be able to do that anymore, right? At least I don't think so. I'm interested to hear what you have to say, Nicole. Now, my advice or my thought, this is my thought, would be when I was at home working on all these projects and initiatives, I just did it. God be told, this is the way it was. I woke up early. I did it. I stayed late. I worked fast. I double-checked, triple-checked. I did what I had to do. I burned weekends on it. I said nothing because I had to get it done. I knew the importance of it. But now that I'm traveling back and forth, how can I do that? I can't. So I was thinking about this yesterday, and
just work on the train, Paula. Crack
know.
open your laptop on the TTC. It now has Wi-Fi. Like,
yeah, but actually,
I'm teasing.
Okay, because we're not allowed to do that. Because if somebody looks over your shoulder and sees something, then you're in conflict of code of conduct. Remember that now. Back in office working for these big companies, you open up any work, anything on your phone, you're in conflict. So anybody can read what's over your shoulder. So please don't ever do that. Or just make sure you know the rules of your company and never open anything that, because people can record.
To rename the podcast, Call HR.
Yeah. Terrible. Yeah, if that happens. So, but now I was thinking, how do you do that? Well, you have to work out loud. You have to tell people where you're at. You got to say what's holding it up. At least that's my thought. I'm really open.
This is a little bit about assertive language. And it's very interesting that this is coming up because a couple of clients have talked to me about assertive language training and like teaching some of these individuals on how to speak confidently and assertively about.
Give me an example.
Boundaries.
Give me an assertive. Are you okay?
Yes,
this would have been funny. So do you know I love when people fall down?
Oh,
like it's my fancy. It's just fantastic. So don't fall down because you'll never get me to stop laughing. But Give me assertive language. Give me an example.
And again, sometimes people think when I say assertive, I mean things like, there's no way I'm getting that done by 5 p.m.
Okay, so that's not assertive.
Well, I think that's just aggressive.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Oh, that's good.
Right?
Yeah, aggressive.
To me, assertive is, I would love to get that done for you at 5 p.m., but these are my other competing priorities. How would you like me to proceed?
That's assertive.
It's just confidently stating what's possible and not possible. And I think, again, we didn't have to do it during COVID because we were willing to do whatever it took to work in my pajamas.
Yeah.
And now I'm just not willing to do that anymore.
That's right. So now we have to go into, I love your example.
It's just confidence. Good. It's feeling, and I mean, I guess this is really tied to psychological safety. How safe do I feel with my leader? How safe do I feel in my organization to say that?
Yeah. No, it's beautiful. Beautiful what you're saying right now. Beautiful. You're absolutely right. You need to be assertive and not aggressive. You need to have your confidence, right? And as a I don't know if it's the right word, calling us knowledge workers, but working in that realm of a decision-based jobs. That's what there are, decision-based jobs, where you need to take information and base decisions and then make an output. So how will we be assertive? Don't be aggressive. Be confident.
And I think problem solve. So if you're my manager, I'm not fighting you. Mm-hmm. I'm saying I want to help you.
Right.
But these are the limitations that I'm operating with.
That's right. I'm 9 to 5 now. I am not 8 to 8. I cannot do it anymore because I don't have the capacity, the boundaries. I need to include my commute. And since I'm not home during all those times, there's other things I have to get done because I made a commitment to a family too.
Can't receive the Instacart orders anymore.
You're so cute. I love Instacart.
Right? So when boundaries aren't clear, people don't push back. I think they're just going to burn out. Or I think people's performance is just going to suffer.
Yep.
So in our next episode, we're diving into conversations leaders avoid, about all of them, and why silence, vagueness, or corporate spin can do more damage than good. Sometimes the biggest resistance can come from one simple thought. This could have been a conversation. Until then, next time on Return to Office, I'm Nicole North.
Paula Manolakakis.
See you next time. That wraps up this episode of Return to Office.
Thanks for listening. Whether you're commuting, hiding in a boardroom, or pretending this is background noise.
You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
And if this made you laugh, not aggressively, or feel a little less alone, like, share, or leave us a review.
We'll see you next time back at the office.